Of course, we're hearing news out of Ukraine. One American journalist and travel editor living there offering some perspective on this. Joe Lindsley joining us this morning to speak with us. Good morning, Joe. What do you think Americans need to know about what life is like in Ukraine right now?
Well, Adrienne, good morning. Hello from Lviv. Life is, and I've been both in this city, which is close to the EU border near Poland, and also recently in Kharkiv, 20 miles from Russia. And on either side of Ukraine, life is continuing. Certainly, I think in the past week, there's been a darker tone and things are getting more ominous and serious. The past few days of walking around the city and talking with strangers and friends and colleagues, I feel like I've been in sort of a political and constitutional theory class. Whether people are very young or very old, they're talking about why they believe in their country and why this is a democracy that they want to protect and defend. And I think the general sense here is that, and I think we just saw that in those comments from President Zelensky in Munich, which you just played, that the longer this drags on, the more it hurts Ukraine. It seems that one, like maybe perhaps a new question we should consider is that President Putin has said for so long that his goal is to prevent Ukraine from becoming part of NATO. And sort of the West has accepted that at face value. People here see it a little bit differently and say they think that Putin perhaps doesn't want a free Ukraine to exist. In the same way that a free Taiwan is a threat to the regime in Beijing because they speak the same language, they have a similar culture. A free Ukraine, where many people do speak Russian, is a threat to Putin's regime. And so that really is the mentality here. And I think talking with so many people, including today, I spoke with an activist. We'll have a podcast later at lvivlab.com, an activist who is a huge Zelensky critic. And yet she was very inspired by his speech the other day. And she said, every single person in this country is sort of in this emotional strain right now, going back and forth between when will this invasion happen? A month ago we heard it will happen when the ground freezes, even though the ground was already frozen. Now the ground is not frozen. And in a way, I think we're all in some kind of psychological game. And
so that might
Ukrainians
that might be a better question. Is this psychological warfare? Because obviously there has been tension for years between Ukraine and Russia. But it appears as though this is a mind game being played by Putin and the Kremlin.
Yeah, I think, Adrienne, that's a likely possibility. And I think from so many conversations here, people started to sort of succumb to that maybe a few weeks ago, but they sort of bucked themselves up. But it seems that the West, and maybe this is part of Zelensky's frustration in his comments in Munich, the West is sort of taking Putin's intentions at face value and not considering the very fact that he might simply want to destroy this. Ukraine has been a free country, especially since its revolution in 2014, when they kicked out their pro-Moscow regime. That was an extraordinary moment that I think is not talked enough about right now. And it would be a threat to anyone, any tyrant, especially a neighboring country. And so, in the past weeks and really since November, so many international business opportunities have been lost. I talk with business people, especially in Kyiv and Kharkiv. Ukraine was a great source, has been a great source of IT outsourcing. They're starting to lose their American clients. There is some kind of warfare that is already happening, and it is already beginning to hurt Ukraine and its image in the world. All the footage we see of Ukraine is of these war-torn, snowy, dark, bleak landscapes in the east. We see no beautiful images of this country, no sign of its flourishing. Every city that I've been to recently, the cafes are full of laughter and conversation. Yes, often talking about the war, but never in a sort of beleaguered way. And so this is a whole massive, the Ukraine that the world is seeing right now is not completely reflective of the reality here. And I'd say that it is a psychological game, but the people are aware of that here, and the spirits are strong.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter, I think, if they want to show the world that the spirits are strong.
It's certainly something where we need to remember that this is a war or the threat of war, but it's also about people. And it's more than just numbers of troops that are on the border, but it is about towns and communities that are on the brink of something imminent. We just don't know what yet. Joe Lindsley, thank you so much for being with us and for giving your perspective. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.